How to start a healthy lifestyle. Welcome everyone. Today I'll be sharing my top 5 tips on creating and sustaining a healthy lifestyle for beginners. If you're not a beginner, don't panic. Some of these tips might still apply to you in your life and help you create and sustain a more healthier lifestyle. We'll go through different tips from a nutrition and exercise perspective, scheduling, food changing, prioritizing certain habits over other, etc. Stay tuned. So the first thing you want to do is challenge yourself for 30 days. And as simple as that sounds, 30 days is a good enough time span that is easy enough to sustain, but it's also good enough or long enough to create a healthy habit. Use what you already know. We all know you gotta cut out processed sugar, refined carbohydrates and processed meats and very deep fried foods and stuff like that, right? We all know you should be eating more fruits and vegetables, beans, legumes. We all know you should be eating cleaner and not that deep fried food. We all know you should be drinking more water or being more active. So in terms of what you know enough for the start. You don't need to go into analysis paralysis and go over very deep research to start. Just challenge yourself for 30 days. Now, a good point here is challenging yourself for 30 days won't actually change your whole body, but it may alter your perception and allow you to understand that you can take control of your life in your hands and that you can create healthy habits and stick to those. Even if it's for 30 days and you get back to your unhealthy habits, it's really a good way to sort of expand your brain and tell it, hey, I can do this, I've tried it. Once you have that taste, once your mind has seen it, then you know you're capable of, and all those excuses will become a bit less meaningful to you. You can create yourself a checkmark table to keep track of your habits, journal about what healthy thing you tried out each single day, or just use an app to properly schedule your healthy tasks. Tip number 2 is change the foods in your kitchen. And as simple as it sounds, there is a lot of truth to this. Imagine if your shelves are stacked with unhealthy food, you're bombarded, everything you see around is unhealthy food, the trigger is real. It's very hard to discipline yourself and try to eat smarter and eat healthier when you have so many unhealthy and processed things around. One of the best ways to erase this is to not go shopping when you're hungry, to take control over what you buy in the supermarket, because healthy eating starts in your brain, starts in the supermarket, starts with shopping. If you're surrounded by unhealthy foods, guess what's the easier thing to do when you get hungry? To go and grab an unhealthy snack. That's right. So instead, you want to take control of this and already stack your shelves with healthy food so that when you're hungry, you don't really need to make a hard decision between a very tasty unhealthy food and a healthy food. You just have healthy foods around, so you're hungry, you have already predetermined with your shopping and with your conscious control that this is what you're gonna put in your environment and this is what you're gonna eat, and you're gonna aim for cleaner and healthier foods. Now, don't make the mistake of buying completely raw and whole foods 100% that you have no idea how to cook or eat or practically prepare so they will be tasty. Be realistic when picking your foods and try to pick foods that are tasty but also on the healthier side for you and slowly transition. Simply picking more whole foods in the store does the trick. You can also swap unhealthy foods with healthier options at home, as well as research different tips on topics like nutrition, fitness, or whatever floats your boat. Tip number 3, exercise 3 to 6 times a week. You can choose to do either aerobic work or strength work, or you can choose to combine aerobic like running or swimming or cycling with strength work like lifting weights, Pilates, or bodyweight workouts like I do. Most of the people think, oh, I have to work 8 to 12 hours a day. I don't have no time to work out. Now, this is not entirely true. While we're not trying to be judgy here because everyone has their own individual type of lifestyle and it's not that easy for everyone to work out, I completely understand that. But one big misconception that people make is I have to work for a certain number of hours so I don't have time to be active. Here's why that's not true. We as human beings are not made to focus very hard or to do an intense task for long periods of time, like 7, 10, or 12 hours. This means you should take your work in different intervals, like 90 to 120 minutes, where you really focus and do the deep work, and then take a half an hour off. Now in that half an hour, to refresh your brain, you might just do some meditation or coffee with cold shower or a workout. And many people don't understand that implementing a workout inside this little sort of resting period in between is going to improve your overall productivity and efficiency in your work. When I work for like 3 to 4 hours continuously, this is where people make a mistake. They think, I'm tired now, and if I go to workout, I'll be so much more tired afterwards. Now this is only the case if you go to run a marathon and do an extensively hard, very rigorous and vigorous intensity HIIT type of training. If you do light cardio, if you skip a rope, if you do some light yoga, if you stretch, if you run a bit, this isn't the case. Actually, you're going to improve your productivity because once you come back to work, you're going to feel like a completely new person. This has a lot to do with improving circulation and oxygenation that brings and nourishes the brain with oxygen and different nutrients. Prioritizing exercise instead of saying you don't have enough time for it can actually lead to better productivity, health, longevity, and even higher energy levels after your workout. Trust me on this one. Endorphins release after exercise and make us feel good. Tip number 4 is read health and wellness blogs. Whatever you soak your mind into, whatever content you're exposed to, your brain is going to create this thought patterns and this energy that are going to stimulate you to do or think about certain stuff. So it goes without saying that if you focus your mind on reading about health and nutrition and active lifestyle and exercise and benefits of yoga/biohacking, etc., you can gain an insight, you can be inspired and be motivated to start your journey to creating a healthier lifestyle. Now you may not think this is true because simply reading won't make the action for you, but where action actually originates is your brain has certain thoughts and certain desires, and it creates this energy in your subconscious brain that triggers you to do certain things because it expects certain reward. And if you prioritize your health high enough, this should be one of the main things that you should focus on, is consuming healthy content. On the other side, if you're just bombarded by different types of content from social media, on telephones or TVs, your brain is not going to know how to disassociate that from what your real desire is. It goes the same for your work, relationships, and stresses. The more you're sort of digging into those, the more you can close off your mind to looking at different alternatives that might make you healthier and happier. So think about it like this. If you really want to lose weight and you go to a web page and you browse through the weight loss, fat loss articles and you stumble upon 3 that you really like, you go to fully read on through them. They're scientifically supported, they're backed by research. They have certain success stories and they also have different tips that'll make weight loss or fat loss even more practical to you. Your brain gets this and creates sort of an energy, and it has an insight it wants to take advantage of. It says, okay, I know this information, I understand the underlying mechanisms, I know how to practically apply it to my life. So soaking up this kind of content can lead you to better transformation in the future, right? Just search the topic that interests you and millions of results will pop out. Check out sites like Self, Verywellfit, and Healthline for reputable content. Tip number 5 is to cut processed and refined sugars from your diet. There's no shortage of research that links higher consumption of refined sugars to diseases like diabetes, obesity, and higher mortality rates. Cutting processed sugar from your diet will be beneficial for your health in most cases. We all know that eating excessive amounts of processed sugar isn't good for our health, so there's no dilemma in this. The practical way is to switch different sodas or colas for tea, water, or almond milk, different types of drinks. On the other hand, instead of getting your sweet chocolate bar, you can pick up or make yourself some paleo cookies, make some healthy muffins, make some protein bars with dark chocolate, or eat organic dark chocolate with certain types of nuts. It's all on you. The sugar crisis can be real. We all know this. Many times listening to our sugar triggers and consciously swapping processed and refined sugars with healthier alternatives like dark chocolate and nuts can lead to better health. It isn't that hard, is it? Big thanks for watching. We're just gonna repeat the bullet points, the key points of all what we've talked about in a little line. So the first thing is to challenge yourself for 30 days and do it your own way. Take control of the process. The second thing is to change the foods in your kitchen. Add more vegetables, more fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, fresh and whole foods instead of processed ones. The third one is to prioritize exercise 3 to 6 times a week. Schedule a little time in between your work when you're going to want to do a little aerobic or strength enhancing workout. Number 4 is to read health and wellness blogs. There are tons of good health and wellness blogs out there. Just pick your topics you're interested in and go search for it. The 5th and last one is to cut processed sugars from your diet. This is probably going to be the hardest one, to remove those candies, colas, sodas, cakes, etc. But try to stick with it just for 30 days. You can have paleo cookies, you can have different protein bars that you made on your own, you can buy dark chocolate with nuts. Just try to combine it in a way that's healthier for you. Big thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the